My policy for governing is based on collaboration, with the goal of transforming our government into one that is responsive to every person who lives in New York City and treats every person who lives in New York as a customer of the city. And in some respects, the obligation of the leader is to create a customer service relationship with all the people of the city. This is going to require a tremendous transformation of how the city government operates. It means that we can't operate in silos anymore, that we have to operate at the points of intersection. So when I talked earlier about the director of the public realm, where there are points of intersection, those are the opportunities to be able to create these cross collaborations and use these points of cross collaboration as a way to connect to community-based organizations, nonprofits, and the communities themselves. This means that we're going to have a different type of communication, that in a time when over 50% of people are millennials or younger, that we have to think about communicating with everybody in a two-way methodology, meeting them where they are in the language that they speak, in the channel that they want to be communicated with, even if it's offline. And then for there to be a feedback mechanism across everything. And then finally, we need data. We need data to create a baseline for where we are, to measure our progress around that baseline, and to have transparency to show both how we're doing well, but more important is where we need to improve.
I think that's great, but let me ask this follow-up. It's all well and good, but again, back to implementation and implementing, which is the problem that we've had all these years and many different mayors. Would you pick a priority areas in which you would do that in terms of trying to focus on saying, rather than my first 100 days, but it could be something like that, where you say, I need to look at some policies and get right down to it through a plan for implementation?
Yes, we need to create a citywide plan for everything, for open spaces, for the distribution of child care centers and schools and health facilities and public parks and transportation. We need to look at the city holistically, figure out where are the concentrations of low-income people and upper-income people? Where are the opportunities to place low-income housing that we talked about and affordable housing? Where do we put folks who are homeless today? Where do we distribute the mentally ill folks? And then how do we deal with the rising seas, right? The 10-foot sea rise that we are predicting by 2100, which is going to change our coast. We have to plan for all of that. And now is a great opportunity to have those conversations.